Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different, and if you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do if it doesn't resonate with you. If you're forcing the story to fit, arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. So let's go ahead and let's begin. Okay. Taking a step aside, and allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay, my energy just did a thing, so I think that we have kind of like an angelic message coming through. We'll see what happens here. All right. I'm seeing something like a firework, and I'm being shown this firework is almost like it's not about the expression of the firework. It's about the force. So something has forcefully happened. For some of you, okay, so how it's manifesting is that for some of you it may not feel forceful. It may have happened actually peacefully, but it's something that was sudden for some of you. Others of you, it was something that happened quite forcibly. And this is something that has to do with what it is that you want that promotes your own stability, okay, with the King of Pentacles. There's a reason why an angelic being is the one that seems to be connecting for this energy, and I'm being told that we'll get into that. So right now they want to focus on this 3D phenomenon, whatever it is. And I am feeling that this has to do with people, that it's interpersonal. And in order to establish ourselves inside of our own integrity, is how it's being told to me, we had to eliminate certain energies. For some of you, it's not that you took people out of your life, it's just that you stood your ground. That's what the King of Pentacles does. Nobody moves the King of Pentacles. Like, he's exactly where he is, and you know, you can either accept it or you can get out of the way. That's kind of the King of Pentacles energy. Now, there is this oh wow, there's a whole lot going on here. Okay, so I'm being told to look at this, and if you look at that, it almost looks like the top part of a face, like the top part of a statue, like some sort of deity mask or some sort of deity face. And this is something about how do I want to put this? It's something about the structures of servitude. Okay, so there's certain structures of servitude that someone has had within their life. This might be in love relationships, this might be to family members or friends, or maybe it's everyone around you. Maybe you were used to having to do things to have a place, right? And the King of Pentacles in this card, he's putting his foot on it, and almost to show that he has dominance over it, so that the structure of servitude is no longer part of his life. The King of Pentacles is in this amazing story of being a self-made man, right? He is somebody who has built everything that he wants with his own hands, and he had to raise himself out of that structure of servitude. And this is kind of what this being is giving me, is that whoever this message is for, there were these structures of servitude inside of your life, possibly through the mechanism of having to placate others or having to do what everyone else wanted, that maybe you weren't even aware of. Maybe there was a time in your life where you just thought that was normal and you didn't even realize you were doing it. And slowly, someone has had to become conscious of those things. And as you've become conscious of those things, you've almost, because the King of Pentacles is kind of isolated on top of his turret. And this feels a little bit like somebody has allowed themselves to pull their energy back away from others in order to really figure out who they are, in order to have their own sense of stability. The way that we can see that he had been in a structure of servitude but is no longer is the presence of the bulls. But these bulls, they don't have rings in their noses. They're surrounded by like grapes. They're surrounded by what's supposed to be their abundance, right? Okay. Okay, where do you want me to go? Let's see. Get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. And if you notice the similarities between these two cards, both of them, they're seated kind of in their power positions. Both of them have their eyes closed. So there's this listening to our intuition and our own divine wisdom has entered into this picture. Absolutely, most of the people who this message is for are going to be empaths, given the story that I just explained about having to placate others, probably from a very early age, and then just naturally carrying that into adulthood. And it can be very eye-opening when a person who is an empath realizes, wow, like I've been doing this my whole life, and I've done this to myself in a lot of ways. So there's this sort of realization that has taken place inside of someone's life in the past, and they've been cultivating a sense of identity to remove that story from their life. Okay. Here we go. Shambhala initiation, retreating to recharge. Again, we have the idea of retreating, trusting the process, and dharma. Notice the gold color. And for me, this is really representative of that solar plexus energy, and that we have set up the self as sacred and divine, rather than everyone else has sacredness and divinity over us. Or before us, right? So whoever this message is for, there was definitely this sort of low point that was reached with this valley imagery that's coming through that had to lead someone into this knowledge. This could be a really bad divorce. This could be, a parent dying. This could be losing everything that you have, right? There's something here that was a very low point that led someone into the knowledge of themselves. And this is still at play. I'm going to say this. The whole duration that I've been doing this channel, self-empowerment messages are like the #1 messages that come through. And so that tells me that the collective that I naturally land on are working towards self-empowerment. For it to last about 2.5 years now, that tells me that I'm reading for a collective who had some very, very strong like ironclad stories about you have to do everything for everyone else. Everyone else deserves better than you. If you ask for the same things that other people other people deserve, then you're selfish or greedy or all those things, right? So this particular collective, I personally believe that when people have those stories built into their past, that's like a final boss battle. If that's the story that you have to overcome, it's because you're really coming back into the center of your own godhood, your own story of divinity. And that's not like early story stuff, right? So this is something that I dare say that a lot of people that are resonating with this, that you probably understand that you have a signature of a very like mystic person, or somebody who is really skilled in magic, whether you learned it or not. Maybe you were born that way. This is the kind of energy I would see for people that are very skilled shaman, or people that are very skilled at witchcraft. And with witchcraft it gets a little tricky though, because if we're talking anthropological witchcraft, where people are just born having a byproduct of things taking place around them, not necessarily learning how to do it, it just happens and they don't know how to control it. I want to say one thing. In this lifetime, it's probably been a very hard road to learn that you're not a victim, and that you can actually turn your life around. And I feel that whoever this message is for, you are on that path. You have learned that. And this is where you start to control those things. And not control out of some weird power-hungry thing, but controlling it because you are becoming self-sovereign. Okay? And that's not to say you were never a victim. It's just to say that you don't have to live in that story. Here we have Akashic Records, clearing old stories, releasing past lives, and freedom. And so this is a lifetime where many of you are gaining freedom from these old karmic stories, or these old, maybe they're not even something that you associate with past lives. Maybe they're things that you associate with being in your DNA, being in like your genetic memory from ancestors, and working through those energies. Maybe for some of you, you think it's stuff that it's your first go with these things. Whatever the case is, some of you are working on clearing these old stories just for this lifetime, but it's allowing you to step into a space of greater freedom, greater divinity. Now, notice the similarity here with these two structures. I think that's fascinating. There's also this sort of portal or gateway energy that's coming through with this card, and this feels like the card that this being that I'm connecting to for this reading wants to associate with. So they're associating with this portal-like energy. I'm asking why. I'm seeing something about the sun, so this is definitely like a solar, fiery quality being. And there's something here about the stars also, so something about cosmic in origin. That there is something here about structure, and numbers are coming through is very important, because I have some numbers over here on the side. Specifically what I'm seeing is 22, 23, 24, 25. And there's something here about written destiny versus destiny that we choose. So someone's going through all of those processes right now, understanding all of those things. Some of you are also working with time. Okay, another one here. Okay. And leap. You go first, the universe will catch you. There may be something at this moment that requires a leap of faith, or this untangling fireworks sort of energy that we started off with, which was like the catalyst for something to almost realign inside of our life. This might be like you putting your foot down with somebody, or you disconnecting from someone. It definitely required an empath to step outside of their comfort zone. And this stepping out of the comfort zone is something that is allowing you to basically make bigger moves inside of your life. There may even be something that has sort of, I think this came out yesterday, there's something that may have emerged or re-emerged after that process. And if you haven't experienced that yet, that's something that's coming. It's like the swell after like a boulder drops in water, right? It's like you add this more dense, more powerful energy to the surface of the water, and the water pulls back, and then it swells back in. And that's kind of what this feels like to me. It's like we created some sort of like energetic action, and now something is kind of coming into our field or into our magnetization as a response to that, as a balance. So we're having some sort of alignment that's taking place. That alignment is causing a new energetic balance around us to take place. And this might be in the form of people. This might be in the form of like individuals appearing inside of our reality that are more suited for us. It may be in the, for some of you it's going to be opportunity, but I am definitely feeling that for most of you this is going to be people. Okay. Cut again. Okay. Holy Grail, inner discovery, finding sacredness, you are what you seek. And this is ultimately it. You know, I feel, again, going back to that idea of self-empowerment and being able to find your own sovereignty. This has been the long journey that someone's on. This reading is kind of coming through from this angelic being almost, you know, because I get more of the underworld beings when there's work to be done. When I start getting the higher realm, I think is what most people would think, beings, it's like the job is done. That's kind of the message. And it's not that there doesn't have to be upkeep. It doesn't mean that, you know, you're never going to have to worry about anything again. It just means that whatever it is that you were trying to accomplish for yourself in your relationship to yourself, you've done it. Okay? And this is the result, the great gathering. It's all coming together, intuitive hits and soul tribe. So many of you've been really yearning for or looking for like-minded people, people that you feel connected to, people that you can share yourself with. And this is essentially a reading that's coming through from this angelic being saying that you've done the work, and it's all working properly now. Whatever this last thing was, it's all in alignment now, and this is what's coming, the great gathering. Okay, I'm going to leave this here. So congratulations for whoever this message is for. If this resonates with you, please hit that like button, and until next time.